Have you ever thought about how burglars plan their big heists? Check out these Ring camera clips to see how they fumble their way through break-ins and get caught in the act. Proof that crime doesn't always pay, especially when caught on camera. Number 1. Unseen. Here in this Ring camera, a silver BMW pulling up right in front of a house. A man stepped out and approached the homeowner's son without any introduction, asking if he lived in the neighborhood. The incident is unsettling, not just because of the man's suspicious behavior, but also because he didn't waste any time engaging with the boy. Luckily, the teenager's father showed up just in time and confronted the man.
What you got to ask my son?
I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Who awkwardly tried to explain that he was just curious about some airplane noise. Needless to say, the father wasn't buying it, and the situation was handled before anything could go wrong. Number 2. Garage break-in. Ever seen someone break into a garage using a pickaxe? Well, now you have. In Denver, a guy was caught on camera using a pickaxe to break into a garage after loitering around the property for a whole 45 minutes. The homeowner's Ring camera recorded the whole scene, showing this guy just hanging around before deciding to go full-on miner mode on the garage door. Number 3. Robbery and a job interview. A man is eyeing a package on someone's porch, clearly on a mission to steal it. As the dogs start barking, he gets confused and quickly grabs the package, making a rush retreat. But just as he's about to leave, the homeowner's voice calls out to him. He turns around and instead of running, he approaches and awkwardly asks if they're hiring for yard work.
Hi, are you guys hiring for any type of yard work?
It's like he's trying to turn his robbery into a job interview. The homeowner ends up giving him a dose of instant karma. Number 4. Mail thief big score. In this Ring camera footage, a man is caught in the act of stealing mail. He approaches the mailbox, takes a good look at the camera, and proceeds to grab the mail, stuffing it into his hoodie. As he heads off, the camera catches a glimpse of his backpack, which is packed with even more stolen packages. It's clear he's not just taking a few letters, he's been on a roll, snatching packages from other doorsteps too. This footage gives a full view of his little crime spree. Number 5. Man in a bat. A man in a black hoodie and a second man in a yellow hoodie are caught on camera. The man in the black hoodie is knocking on the door, seemingly preparing for something more serious. Meanwhile, his accomplice, who is riding a bicycle, is lurking in the background. It turns out they were there for an armed robbery, but with no one home, their plans took a turn. Instead of a robbery, they ended up stealing the bicycle. The police arrive and speak with the homeowner through the doorbell camera.
Hi there, I'm in my office, but I'm able to talk to you through the Ring doorbell.
Leading to the quick capture of the would-be robbers. Number 6. Disguised thieves. A Miami Beach family is out for a quiet Sabbath celebration when a trio of thieves, dressed in Orthodox Jewish garb, decide to stage a home invasion. The criminals, clearly plotting a grand heist, start their scheme by knocking at the front door to make sure no one's home.
They went through the back, they tore open the door.
When they get no response, they break through the back entrance. Captured on the family's doorbell camera, the burglars dive into their operation with impressive efficiency. In less than 10 minutes, they ransack the home, loading up suitcases with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of valuables. Think luxury watches and designer handbags. Number 7. Teenage robbery. In St. Petersburg, a teenager named Divine Hinton had just finished his shift and was heading home when he got a nasty surprise. The footage shows Divine walking up to his house, only to be suddenly ambushed by someone who runs up from behind and waves a gun at him.
Shows the person point what looks like a small gun to Javon's head and pull him away from his home.
The thief, clearly intent on robbing Divine, yanks him away from the front door, creating a terrifying scene right on his doorstep. Number 8. Breaking Bad. In Atlanta, 2 women were caught red-handed on a Ring camera trying to break into a nearby vacant home. They must have thought they were invisible, but the homeowner got an alert on her phone and saw the whole thing unfold.
The homeowner told police she was alerted by her Ring camera while at work.
As if that wasn't enough, during their escape, one of them decided to take a swing at the camera and smash it. Number 9. Burglary blunder. A guy named Michael Cunningham had a rough night when his burglary attempt took a turn for the worse. Cunningham was caught on a home's security cameras peeking through the windows and trying to break in. The homeowner, seeing the whole thing on her Ring cameras, quickly called 911. When police arrived, they found Cunningham not only attempting to flee, but also injuring himself with a knife. He was later taken to Hartford Hospital for treatment. What a way to turn a robbery into a self-inflicted mess. Number 10. Clueless thieves. We've got a man and woman trying to steal a doorbell camera, but they're so clueless they don't even notice they're being recorded. It's like they thought they could take the camera, but leave the footage behind. Spoiler alert, the camera captures everything. You can see their faces, the exact spot where they're taking the camera from, and even where they stash it afterward. It's almost funny how these two didn't think to check if they were on tape. Number 11. Bat-wielding aggressor. A guy with a bat is outside someone's house, yelling and trying to scare the homeowner into coming out. He was threatening the homeowner after the police had left, doing literally nothing to this man.
Just shoot, suck my dick, just shoot. Come here, come outside, open the door.
It's a pretty scary situation, especially when someone's acting aggressively right at your front door. Number 12. Locked out. In Vista, CA, a guy tries to break into a house by kicking the front door when he finds it locked. Just as he gets inside, the homeowner uses her Ring camera's speaker to tell him to leave, and he quickly runs away. Later, police spotted the suspect thanks to a helicopter and tips from a witness who saw the description. Number 13. Drilling for trouble. 3 guys are outside a house drilling into the doorknob. 2 of them are keeping watch, making sure no one catches them in the act. It might look like they're just fixing something, but nope. These are actually burglars trying to break into the place. All of this shady business is caught on the Ring camera, so it's clear they didn't get away with their sneaky plans. Number 14. Break-in bungle. Do you ever have someone show up at your door uninvited and just refuse to leave? Well, that's exactly what happened here. A guy in a red jacket and his partner decided to break into a house. Instead of ringing the doorbell, they went straight to smashing the front door down. The impact was so intense that it knocked the Ring camera off its mount, but the door held strong. They then moved to the side door and tried the same thing.
After those few seconds, the man walks around to the house's side door and again immediately starts trying to break it down.
Meanwhile, the homeowner woke up, saw the commotion on the second camera, and used the speaker to confront them. This startled the burglars, who fled. Number 15. Creepy clown. Imagine waking up to find your backyard gate wide open. That's exactly what happened to this Texas homeowner. Curious about what went down, he checks his security footage and, surprise, he spots a clown. Yes, a full-on clown, complete with a mask and knife, wandering around his yard. This happened back in 2016, during the killer clown craze, when some people took the clowning around way too seriously.
In 2016, during that sort of killer clown craze that went on for a few months.
Instead of just spooking folks for fun, this clown was actually trying to break into the house. After unsuccessfully testing all the doors, the clown eventually gave up and walked away. Quite the creepy wake-up call. Number 16. Toledo's late-night drama. In the middle of the night at an apartment complex in Toledo, a guy shows up at the front door with what looks like a gun tucked into his waistband. He knocks and tries to get in, but the homeowner isn't having it. She's not opening the door for just anyone saying, "It's me." So, the guy gives up on the front door and heads off, but that's not the end of the story. Out of nowhere, another man emerges from a nearby dumpster.
Disturbingly, as he does so, a second man pops up from a nearby dumpster.
Together, they decide to try their luck at the back door. Number 17. Elderly couple versus robber. Here we can see 2 robbers busting into a house and taking control fast. They tell an elderly couple to get into a closet. The woman moves quickly, but the man, not in any rush, gets the robbers all worked up. The woman, showing some care, comes back to help the man get his walker. The robbers, clearly losing patience, have to point the man in the right direction when he starts heading the wrong way.
And walks toward the wrong room, the intruders angrily point him in another direction.
As all this goes down, one of the robbers starts wandering around the house, grabbing their cell phones from the couch and snatching something from the kitchen counter. With a safe and wallet in hand, they finally take off, leaving the house a mess. Number 18. Drunk stalker. Ever wondered what a drunk stalker looks like? This video shows a guy loitering outside a woman's apartment. He's been hanging around, and in the footage, he's seen with a beer in his hand, talking to himself.
At one point, you can see a beer in his hand before he walks away.
At one point, he tries to open the door handle, clearly attempting to get inside. After stumbling around, he returns to the door, still trying to get in. It's unsettling to watch, especially knowing this has been an ongoing issue for her. Number 19. Las Vegas Chase. Running for your life has never been so real. This wild Ring doorbell footage from Las Vegas shows a man sprinting across the street with a suspect hot on his heels. The guy in a pink shirt dashes for a gate while the suspect, who looks to be wearing a white t-shirt, tries to pull the trigger on him. But plot twist, the gun jams, and it jams again and again. Despite the suspect's best efforts, the gun refuses to cooperate, giving the man a lucky break. After a few failed attempts to fire, the frustrated suspect takes off running. Number 20. Ring camera heroes. Ever thought a Ring camera could save the day? Well, here's proof. 2 armed guys burst into a house where 3 teenage girls were hanging out. The robbers force the girls to lie down on the floor, creating a scene straight out of a nightmare. Things get even scarier when one of the intruders yanks one girl by her hair and drags her to another room. Meanwhile, the girl's parents, who were out for the evening, are watching everything go down live on their phones through their Ring app. They start yelling at the robbers through the camera, trying to scare them off.
I got you on camera.
The cops are on the way.
The cops are on their way. My neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now.
The parents' frantic shouting seems to work because the robbers suddenly decide to get out of there in a hurry. Number 21. Clown costume chaos. We see a man in a hoodie and mask trying to break into a house. He starts by knocking on the door, then pulls out a gun, which he quickly hides again. His partner, dressed the same way, joins him on the porch. Both are trying to avoid being recognized while they wait for someone to answer. The pair keeps knocking and calling out, their patience running thin as the minutes tick by. The situation is pretty frightening, especially since no one inside is opening the door. Eventually, the second man signals for them to leave. Number 22. 5 armed intruders. Nothing like 5 armed strangers to completely ruin your day. Here in this video from North Carolina shows a homeowner getting ambushed by 5 armed men who force him to unlock his door at gunpoint. One of them even hits him on the head with a gun.
One of the robbers hit the victim on the head with a gun.
They grab some cash, a phone, and drugs before taking off. Now the police are using the footage to try and catch these guys. Number 23. Close call. Home sweet home? Not quite. Here a couple comes home to find themselves in a terrifying situation. They were followed by a man and a woman who, just as they reached their doorstep, pulled a gun on them.
After that, the suspects followed the couple home, where the male suspect pointed a gun at their faces.
In a split-second decision, the couple dashed inside and slammed the door, narrowly avoiding a disaster. Number 24. Elderly man beaten. This footage is seriously unsettling. It starts with an elderly man opening his front door, only to be met by a masked guy in black who immediately starts beating him with a gun. The poor man is left on the floor, desperately begging for the violence to stop. It's heart-wrenching to watch. What makes it even more intense is that someone inside the house sees the attack and starts shouting. This loud commotion seems to freak out the attacker, who then runs. It's a gut-wrenching reminder of how quickly things can go wrong and how crucial it is to stay alert. Number 25. Candy seller scheme. In Stockton, California, a man posing as a candy seller knocks on a door. When the homeowner answers, 3 other men suddenly rush inside, turning what seemed like an innocent visit into a frightening home invasion. The homeowner's screams can be heard as the fake candy seller quickly runs off. Number 26. Phone request to armed robbery. Ever had a teenager ask to use your phone only to find out it's a trap? That's exactly what happened in Pearland. A teen knocked on the door claiming to need the phone, but once inside, he pulled out a gun. 3 more guys barged in behind him, one of them with a rifle.
Those suspects got away in a white Lexus SUV with black rims.
After a chaotic scramble, the suspects made off with the homeowner's stuff and fled in a white Lexus SUV. Number 27. Daylight robbery. On a sunny Sunday afternoon, 2 robbers decided it was the perfect time for a daylight stick-up. With a handgun in hand, they spotted a student just a few minutes north of campus and, without hesitation, tackled her to the ground. They grabbed her phone and keys and made a quick escape.
Bringing her down to the ground and taking off with her phone and keys just minutes north of the University of Minnesota's campus.
You'd think they'd wait until it was a bit darker, but nope. They went for the full, here's what not to do approach right in broad daylight. And as if that wasn't enough, there were plenty of cars around, making this the least subtle robbery ever. Number 28. Delivery driver deception. Turns out, not all delivery drivers are bringing good news. A group of armed robbers disguised as delivery drivers break into a house with 2 kids inside. What looked like a normal delivery quickly turned into a scary situation, all caught on camera. Number 29, Uninvited Guest. Here's a real head-scratcher. A man comes running up to a house, and at first, you might think he's a resident, but nope. He spots the door wide open because the couple is busy working in their yard and decides to stroll right in like he owns the place. The Ring camera catches him in action, with his face clearly visible. Meanwhile, the homeowner, who's busy mowing the lawn, has no idea a thief is rummaging around inside his house. Number 30, Home Invasion Fail. Here we can see 4 people show up at a house, 2 of them knocking on the door. As the door opens, 2 more suspects burst in from around the corner, one with a shotgun and the other with a rifle. The person inside quickly slams the door shut and the would-be robbers flee. Number 31, Surprise Attack. A man and 2 women are arriving home, sharing hugs and enjoying their evening. Out of nowhere, a robber sneaks up behind them, brandishing a gun. The footage shows him commanding them to face the wall and then shoving them around. He forces them to sit on the floor and demands whatever they have, all while menacingly waving the gun around. In the background, you can spot a black car backing up, hinting that this guy didn't come alone. Number 32, Backyard Crimes. Turns out, not all backyard barbecues are as relaxing as they seem. In southwest Miami-Dade, a man's peaceful day in his yard turns into a crime scene when 2 thieves hop the fence, flash their guns, and demand the necklace.
Pointed their guns at him and demanded his necklace. The victim handed over the jewelry and the crooks took off running.
After the victim hands over the bling, the robbers make a hasty exit. Number 33, Violent Home Invasion. In Hialeah, a Ring camera captures a scary home invasion. The video shows a couple being attacked and beaten with a gun right outside their house by robbers.
The attacker's in Spanish. The couple tries to fight back.
The whole violent incident was caught on camera, and police are now looking for the suspects. Number 34, Waiting on Porch. The footage shows a man casually ringing the doorbell and then standing around on the porch while armed. He waits there for a while, giving off some seriously creepy vibes. If someone had opened the door, God knows what would have happened. Number 35, Fake Delivery Driver. Who knew delivering bad news could be so literal? In East Haven, Connecticut, a doorbell camera catches an attempted robbery with a twist. A suspect, pretending to be a delivery driver, knocks on the door and tries to get inside with a gun. The homeowner, not buying the fake delivery, pushes the intruder away. The would-be thief then hurries off in a silver and black car. Just goes to show that not every package is a gift. Number 36, Gas Company Scam? Ever had someone show up at your door claiming to be from the gas company but looking a bit sketchy? That's exactly what happened in Whittier on May 24th. A group of guys, decked out in face masks, hoodies, and one with a bright work vest, showed up at a home claiming they needed to check the gas meters. The homeowners, sensing something was off, politely turned them away. But a few minutes later, the same group came charging back, this time with guns drawn.
Intruders eventually disappear, leaving the household in shock and calling 911.
Thankfully, the homeowners had already called the police, who were quick to respond. Looks like their gut feeling was spot on. Number 37, Gang Standoff. We can see a gang of 6 men hitting 23rd Street in the Mission District around midnight. Out of nowhere, a white car pulls up, and 3 of these guys jump out, one brandishing an AR-15 rifle. Some victims tried to fight back, but it quickly turned into a dangerous standoff. One brave individual in yellow even attempted to confront the armed suspects while others scrambled for cover. The chaos left a bullet hole in a nearby garage. Number 38, Woman Stops Intruder Break-In. Ever seen a close call caught on camera? In this footage, a woman is heading inside her home when she notices a man trailing behind her. As she's closing the door, she spots the would-be robber trying to follow her in.
Notice the intruder just in time and swiftly locked the door, preventing him from entering the home.
The man, clearly up to no good and armed with a gun, starts hitting the Ring camera in a frantic attempt to disable it. Luckily, the woman acted quickly and locked the door just in time, keeping herself and her home safe from the intruder. Number 39, Date Night Turned Nightmare. Late one night in Idaho Falls, Caspian and Isabel Chamel had just come home from a fun date and were ready to relax. They were just chilling, watching TV, and scrolling through their phones. It was late, around 1:30 a.m., so they weren't expecting any visitors, especially not uninvited ones. Suddenly, they heard a loud bang. The front door was kicked in, and a man burst into their home with a shotgun. Caspian was stunned and confused at first, but he quickly realized they were being robbed. The intruder ordered Caspian to sit down, then turned his attention and the shotgun towards Isabel, who was on the couch. Isabel was terrified as the gun was pointed at her. Caspian grabbed the barrel of the shotgun to stop the intruder from getting any closer. While Caspian was struggling with the robber, Isabel rolled off the couch and tried to get help. The situation was chaotic, but Caspian's quick thinking and brave reaction helped them handle the crisis. Number 40. Waking up to unexpected guest. Ever wondered what a bad house guest looks like? A guy sneaking up the stairs in a house, looking completely lost. Clearly, he was breaking in. Things took a creepier turn when, moments later, the man ended up in the homeowner's bedroom while she was asleep. She woke up to find him standing over her bed, screamed, and he ran. Number 41. Fake cops. In this Ring camera footage, 3 men dressed in police uniforms target a house for robbery. They immediately go for the Ring camera, hiding it to avoid being caught on tape, clearly knowing it records everything. Number 42. Shootout surprise. A guy spots a shootout right outside his house on his Ring cam. He rushes inside, grabs something, and heads back out to see what's going on. Imagine just trying to check out what's happening on your street and stumbling into a full-on shootout. Number 43. Drunk intruder at 4 a.m. We can see a man stumbling up to the house at around 4 a.m., clearly intoxicated and wielding a gun. He's seen trying to get inside, completely oblivious to the fact that a couple and their 2 kids are asleep inside.
The other side of that door, a New Albany couple and their 2 children are fast asleep.
The man later turned himself in. He admitted he had been out drinking but claimed he couldn't remember anything about the attempted break-in. Number 44. Caught in act. Here a man is seen sneaking into a house through the backyard, clearly with the intent to rob. He moves cautiously, thinking he's getting away with something big. However, the homeowner, who's been working outside, notices the intruder and quickly steps out with a gun. The sight of the gun makes the thief freeze in his tracks, his hands going up in surrender. The homeowner sternly warns him to stay where he is and not make any sudden moves. He's determined to keep the intruder there until the police arrive. Number 45. Lost and confused. Now here we see a woman stumbling around outside a man's house, trying every key she could find, even attempting to unlock the doorbell camera itself. She even started throwing rocks at his car and appeared to be under the influence. After a few minutes of this chaotic behavior, she finally gave up and walked away. It's the kind of weird night that makes you double-check your home security. So there you have it. Real-life robbers caught red-handed and bumbling through their plans on Ring cameras. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time you see someone acting suspiciously, maybe give them a little extra attention. Goodbye.